we just bought the worst house on the best street. And in last episode, we told you guys that we would take you through every step of the way. From getting our offer accepted,
we've just bought a house,
to turning this bad boy into a Nancy Myers inspired modern farmhouse. Now we're here, I absolutely love it.
So this episode, we're taking you with us through all of the in-between shenanigans that are so crucial in getting us this house secured.
And you're gonna wanna stick around because this episode, we're gonna be talking about extension plans, kitchen designs, chasing up our solicitor.
I get about 300 emails a day.
And how survey results could jeopardize our whole project. Big problems. So let's get into it.
If you were here for the last episode, you would know that our most ambitious DIY project on this house is going to be building a single-story kitchen rear extension just behind me here. We mentioned that this extension is going to be roughly 8 meters by 4 meters and is going to have lots of glass in it. It's going to be massive coming out the back of the property. But let's go into more details on the plans for this extension. The budget we have to complete it, show you all of the plans and the conversations between us and our architect so far, and hopefully get our hands on some 3D drawings for you. Let's go.
So you can quickly get a better understanding of our extension plans, let's compare two different downstairs floor plans. With this being the floor plan in the house's current condition, and this being the new proposed floor plan after the extension works have been carried out. You can see our plans consist of a sizable L-shaped kitchen, bifold doors along the back, and creating some internal stairs which will bring you downwards towards the extension. Adding on this extra space is going to allow us to turn the old kitchen into a grand utility room, or a bootility room as we like to call it now, whilst keeping the rest of the internal downstairs layout relatively the same.
Now, I know we've said this before, but all of this work is going to be done by little old us. And I know we have some DIY renovation experience from our last renovation in Suffolk, but this is a real step up for us. But we feel like it's a natural progression, so it's something we're really excited for.
One thing we found so daunting when we originally started looking into doing this house renovation, and I think it stops loads of other people from doing this too, is finding the right architect. This is step one when making plans. We are heading into an architect's shop and we're going to discuss with him what our plans are and maybe how he can help us. We went and spoke to a couple of architects, and I'll be honest with you, we felt like we had failed at the first hurdle. But that was all before we found our current architect now.
So this is Dave, part-time legend and part-time founder of his nationwide architectural company, Archiplan. Dave had an initial half an hour chat with me about our extension plans and spoke about our option to complete this extension under our permitted development rights.
Permitted development will only get you 4 meters on the back, but you could do up to 8 if the neighbours approve it, so they'll get notified. What's called prior notification. They'll get notified that you've got a permitted development application in for a 6 or 8 meter extension, and then they have to not object, and then you can get permission.
But after some back and forth, we settled upon completing a formal planning application for the following reasons, which Dave explained here.
I'd probably be inclined to go for planning for what you want first. The problem with permitted development applications is they might reject that extension because it's like, oh, we measured it at 4.2 meters because of the slope. And it's like, if that was in for planning, they would have approved it because they would have been judging it based on, is it affecting the neighbours, not is it 4 meters or not, you know?
This initial chat with Dave has already been so useful and has reassured me that we're in the right hands for an architect with this extension. I would just add, however, that this isn't all that Archiplan offer in kind of giving you that initial advice and submitting your planning applications. They offer so much more.
In this premium package, which we signed up for, covers you every step of the way of your renovation journey. And to be honest, we didn't know a company like this really existed. But true to his word, after quickly booking ourselves a 3D scan of the house, one of Dave's employees turned up to scan and measure every bit of our new home in the following days. Meaning our extension plans are now fully underway.
And in just a few days' time, we will now have a meeting with our architect on Zoom, and they will have a 3D walkthrough of the whole house on their system. So we can get every inch of our plan mapped out and designed. But more on that in the next episode. For now, let's head to DIY Kitchen Showroom as we need your help and advice on what kitchen you want to see inside this extension. Some exciting interior decisions ahead.
Our plans for this new extension are going to be insane. So we really want this new kitchen to reflect that. Where we're going to be based in Berkshire, we're in a very countryside-esque type of village. And for us, it makes sense for the kitchen to fit in with this. So we're thinking of going for a traditional shaker kitchen, a lovely mantle around a big family range cooker, with beautiful farmhouse floor tiles and some underfloor heating. How have we been coming up with all these ideas, you ask? Well, let us quickly tell you.
Another way in which we've been prepping for this build is getting more knowledge on these different areas, and we've been using Readly to do this.
So Readly is an app that gives you access to over 7,000 magazines and newspapers online. For one very low monthly fee, you get access to all of these newspapers and articles at your fingertips.
What I love about Readly is that they do personalised recommendations. So my Readly subscription knows that I love interior design, I love all the sort of countryside magazines, and it's tapped into that already, which I love.
Fortunately for me and Nikki, I don't have to be on that algorithm because there is a thing on Readly called a multi-profile account, meaning you can have 5 profiles set under one account. So my profile is more based around the construction and the architectural sides, since I've been learning so much about this extension using Readly.
Not to mention, this is so good for space saving. We don't have a lot of room in the house we're about to move into, and Readly is so good for that. So as soon as I finish my magazine, I can just delete it on the app, and it saves me from having piles and piles of magazines all along a building site, which is just not what I want.
If you are interested in Readly, then you can click the link in the description box below or the pinned comment to get 2 months free access to Readly.
Not to mention, you can cancel your subscription at any time.
But why would you? Readly's wicked.
Anyway, let's go read another magazine. We believe that keeping yourself motivated in projects like these means you get to indulge in the fun bits that should really be coming a little bit later on. And I think most of you will agree with me here that the fun bits for me is the interior design and choosing what kitchen I want in my new house. So us and our friends at DIY Kitchens popped a date in the diary.
In a couple weeks' time, we'd love to kind of come up and visit the new showroom.
I mean, you're going to be blown away by the showroom. I can absolutely guarantee that.
So we're here at DIY Kitchen's new showroom in South Kirkby, and we have found some insanely cool ideas to hopefully put into our new kitchen.
So this kitchen behind me here is the inspo pick we're kind of going for. We're going to work our whole kitchen kind of based off of this kitchen behind me. It's in Silsden, it's in a bespoke painted colour, but I love it. This is the thing that we're going to be copying and trying to get the vibe of. If you ignore the pinkness of the island units behind me, the split level where the kind of wooden bar raises off it is just... But what's really cool is I can check on what exactly this kitchen has, just on these little brochure things they have on each kitchen display. And you can scan the barcode up here and get loads more information on it, which is so useful, because we've always got questions to ask.
There were a few particular features that really stood out to us, and we wanted to show you around these ideas and get your opinions on your favourite ones that we should definitely have in our new kitchen. So here they are. An oak plate rack, an AEG extractor fan built into the hob, basket drawers for snacks,
A champagne bucket built into the worktop.
a fancy pants butler sink, and this time I think we're gonna go for a double.
Oh, a beveled edge just like this. You could almost eat it.
Another feature anybody loves is some free refreshments.
We mentioned we love this kitchen earlier, but there is another range that also gets us very, very excited. So let's talk about both the options. This kitchen is very, very traditional and it is speaking to me. So this is called the Helmsley, and it basically is an in-frame structure. And you guys know what I'm like. I know I want a shakeout, and hopefully you guys will agree. I know I want that traditional vibe. So I think this is gonna be option number 1. What do you guys think? Pop it down below in the comments.
This kitchen right here is option number 2. This is Silsden, and this is actually in a bespoke painted colour, because you can get any kitchen painted whatever colour you'd like. And to be honest, I love it. But what do you think?
Obviously, they are both absolutely gorgeous, but a decision will have to be made eventually. Also, in a later video, we're going to be talking more about DIY kitchens, what they offer, how they keep their costs so low but their qualities so high. Basically, all the reasons why we've chosen DIY kitchens. But that's for a future video. We'll talk about that later on.
When buying a house, it's extremely advisable to get a home survey carried out. This should tell you the various problems and defects the house currently has. This can mean anything from drainage to structural problems. So this was the important next job for us on the list.
And we need to decide what level to go for the home buyers survey.
We do, because there's either level 2 or level 3.
Yeah.
Let's get that going and see how much that costs. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't have a clue. Hi, Bal. I'm wondering if I could get a quotation for a house I just purchased.
So do you know about the different levels of survey, level 1, 2 and 3?
Our surveyor then went on to explain that there are 3 different levels of surveys that can be carried out on a house. A level 1, 2 and 3.
In reality, it's detail. The RICS sort of ask us to put less detail in level 2 versus level 3. So charge 600 plus VAT for level 2 and 700 plus VAT for level 3.
That would be perfect. Cheers, pal. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. So, chartered surveyor is a tick.
Oh.
Let's do business with you,
Thank you very much. So the survey was booked in and carried out in a really short amount of time. So let's break down some of the major defects and some surprises that came up in this survey. Because, oh my god, it has uncovered some big problems.
So this is the document we've received back from our surveyor, a 68-page document all about the problems of the house. Some quite light, fun reading, really. First big issue he's flagged with the property is the drainage system. You can probably see behind me here, there is literally an open gap between the gutter, and it's just not in good nick. The report went on to explain that this can lead to major problems if left untreated, because it can lead to water getting into the soil around the house and potentially lead to subsidence. So that is a big issue that we need to sort ASAP.
The second issue that was flagged up in this report is this big brick retaining wall here. They're designed to keep dirt in at a higher level, to keep it all like back and safe, but apparently it has been damaged through the frost in the winter and just general wear and tear because it's been there for so many years. Luckily for us, our plans are massive for this front garden. We're going to be taking out some dirt, re-putting it up higher so we have split levels for parking and another little gardeny, grassy front garden bit. So this little thing here ain't no problem for us. We've got bigger fish to fry, but this will be done at some point.
A third final issue raised with this property was problems found on the chimney stack and on the roof. Now, the flashing around the brickwork needs to be replaced apparently, and apparently all of the pointing, which is kind of the bit in between the bricks that you see, that all needs to be redone as well, because it's just kind of worn in all of the rain and weather. That is a massive bee.
Oh my god.
Now, luckily for us, we love getting our hands dirty, and Nix and I had already planned on getting on top of this roof pretty early doors, giving it all a nice clean and a fresh lick of paint to make the whole roof look kind of brand new, but not breaking our budget. So again, this problem isn't massive, because we should be able to crack out all of these jobs, hopefully in about a week's time or so. I'm guessing a little bit, but in one go.
The one thing we are very concerned about though is that our survey came back presuming that our drainage was connected to the mains sewer. And I think we've realised that it's not after talking to a few of our neighbours and them confirming that there is no mains drainage on the road. So, come septic tank hunting with us.
So we ended up finding our septic tank, and it was just 3 manhole covers all in a line, and it was all constructed from brick. It's not looking great.
If the septic tank is too old and unusable, then it could cost a bomb to install a new tank. Some websites are saying anywhere between £3,700 to £5,300 to install a new tank, whilst others are saying upwards of 20k. And considering it's advised that septic tanks are replaced every 10 to 30 years, we think ours might be even older than that. Encountering the worst case scenario in terms of costs is a good way to budget, so we don't end up in a really, really sticky situation.
And speaking of budget, we did ask you guys in the last episode how much money you think we're going to spend renovating this house. And there was guesses all over the park, some ranging from super low to super high that we definitely don't have the money for, by the way. But one of you guessed it pretty much dead on. So much so that we had a bit of a worried moment that all of our Excel sheets were on public. So we went back and double checked. They're on private for now, but good guessing.
And this guy guessed £67,000 for our renovation budget, which is pretty much exactly what we have to work with right now. Obviously, as more income comes in over the months, we can add more to that, but right now that is what we've got, and that is kind of what we want to stick to. And if you guys know us and you've seen our last renovation, then you guys would know that we love a bargain. We are the bargain king and queen, as we call ourselves.
Otherwise known as stingy.
But seriously though, being able to document all of this online for you guys, and you guys coming back with us with so much enthusiasm, it means that we get to have some discounts from different products and different companies, which really helps us stick to our budget. And I just want to say that that is purely down to you guys watching our videos, liking, subscribing and commenting. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. So this is a bit of an appreciation segment for you guys. Thank you so much.
Legends.
And keep it coming, because I think we're going to need all the help we can get with this one.
We did briefly mention about sharing these spreadsheets online earlier on, and we will be making these spreadsheets public to everyone, and these have got kind of all of our budget breakdown estimates in and stuff like that. We just have to delete a little bit of personal information from them first, but we do know how helpful these spreadsheets can be because we've already used some other people's spreadsheets and they're just so useful in planning your own renovation, so we will share them.
And I'm also thinking about doing a Gantt chart for the whole build to come, because I'm kind of one of those Excel spreadsheet girlies, and if you're the same, not a girly, you can be a boy, but if you're the same, let me know if you want to see those Gantt charts, because I am very down for making those.
Something that gets so overlooked when selling and buying a house is the hundreds of phone calls made to solicitors and estate agents throughout.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's Harrison Cook. Could you just check if the contract pack got sent off for the one we're selling? Do you know if the sellers have sent over the contract pack to our solicitor? I know the contract pack's kind of meant to go within the first week, and obviously they might have sent over the contract. They haven't asked for specifically any furnishings yet, but we... Okay, so one thing is about the furnishings. The dining table, they wanted to have the sofa downstairs. Basically, the survey's getting done today. We had a survey carried out, I think it was a few days ago. Is that something that's going to be raised with you by the other solicitors?
Now this feels like a full-time job for us at the moment. We are keen beans, and it is safe to say that our solicitor is sick of us. And we're only halfway through the process.
They might have sent over the contract.
Haven't seen them as yet. I get about 300 emails a day.
And awkwardly, 297 of them emails were probably me. But jokes aside, it is always good to kind of be on top of your solicitor a little bit and just kind of make sure you're pushing them through the process, because we want this house to complete as quick as possible. We want to be in here, start renovations ASAP. And we don't want to be the reason for that delay. So we're kind of making sure we reply to all of her emails in the same day. So the next episode, we're going to be hopefully showing you 3D drawings and some detailed plans for our extension.
We're going to be going more in detail with the budget breakdown. We're going to be even calling up trades, asking for their quotes, whilst taking you through the whole tricky process of making sure this house completes and ends up to be ours.
Because this is the first time we've sold and then bought a house, it's crazy the process you have to go through to kind of complete these purchases and sales. So we're just going to show you the behind the scenes of a little bit of that while showing you the exciting plans. It's the best of both worlds.
And to make sure you don't miss any of that, then make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any single video. Like we said in the last episode, we are going to start doing weekly videos as and when we start the DIY.
Very exciting times.
Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next video.
See you next vid.
Bye.
Bye.